Schwarz, Mr. Heavyweight Boxing today.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Chris, the Nightmare Ariel, and you're watching Mission Boxing today.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man, this is a very, very interesting fight. Had its ups, had its downs. At some point, a few times in this fight, it was comical. Well, the fight ends in a 6th round with a disqualification. Let's just start there. All right, let's start at the end. All right, it ends in disqualification. It looked like the ref was trying to break both guys. They're like in a clinch. And Gashi looked like he kind of headbutted Schwarz as they were pulling away from the break. Schwarz turns away from that, throws his hands up in the air as the fight should be over. At that point, Gashi had, I believe, 2 other points taken away from him up until that point. Then the ref, I didn't know if he was going to stop the fight or not, but he ended up waving the fight. Then Gashi walks over to Schwarz and they just start fighting again. Gashi said, "Hey, that's not enough. The ref waving it is enough for me. I still want to fight." And it was funny because he goes over there, then the first punch he was going to throw was a winging right hand, and Schwarz threw about 4 punches in between Gashi's his right hook and left hook. And that was funny because that was kind of what was going on in the fight, especially later on in that fight. All right, now when the fight started, Schwarz, he wants to use his reach. He wants to stay on the outside. He's a taller guy by about 6 inches, 5 or 6 inches. And Gashi, he wanted to get close, throw overhand rights, overhand lefts. He wants to throw those hooks and overhands, right? So to me, Schwarz started to outfight him in rounds 4 and 5. He was getting in between those big looping shots. He had the faster hands. You would think the shorter guy probably have the quicker hands, but Schwarz had the quicker hands, and he was a little bit more rangier. He was able to pot shot Gashi with lead right hands, lead straight right hands. He even threw some lead uppercuts, using his jab. He started to buzz Gashi up. Gashi looked like a guy in there, man, that was running out of ideas. He was going from lefty to righty. Now you got to remember, out of his 16 fights, he's 16-0 with 16 knockouts coming into this fight. Out of his 16 fights, he only had 1 fight go to round 4, and all the other fights ended in the 1st or 2nd round. So around about 5 and even in 6 when he got disqualified, looked like he was just running out of ideas. Pretty much looked like he was running out of ideas in the 3rd round. Looked like he just really started to run out of ideas of what to do. Now, I will say that Schwarz, man, at the beginning of the fight was doing a lot of holding. It was like soon as Gashi got close, he just put the vice grip on him. You know what I mean? It looked like he wanted nothing to do with an inside fight. He just put the vice grips on him. And Gashi looked like he started to get frustrated. It looked like the ref really wasn't warning Schwarz about all the holding. I mean, he did here and there, but not as much as he was looking after Gashi. Now, in the 2nd round, Schwarz is not only was he holding, man, he was holding Gashi's head down with force. You know what I mean? It looked like Gashi was trying to move away from Schwarz. He just headbutted Schwarz on the chin. Schwarz hits the damn mat like a sack of potatoes, man. I mean, you would have thought he got hit by prime Joe Frazier. I mean, he just hit the mat like he was just out of there. He rolled around on the canvas for a few minutes. I didn't know if he was trying to milk it to try to, get the disqualification. But I'm glad it didn't end like that because he got up and he actually fought with some nastiness, man. And what I mean by that is Gashi continued to foul. Now, he was being held, but he continued to headbutt. Then he was trying to do it in little subtle ways. A few of them were just blatant headbutts, but he was just kept up this old headbutting thing. And Schwarz, I forget which round it was, but it looked like he wanted to fall. He got headbutted. They were clinched. He got headbutted. Looked like he wanted to fall again. He kind of went like he's going to fall down. Then he just snapped out of it and threw a left hook, that landed on Gashi, and then a right hand, I think, that missed him. But it showed me that he said, you know what, the hell with that. I'm not going to just fall on the canvas, man. I'm going to start fighting you back when you foul me. So I'm glad that he took that approach versus the roller out on the canvas. Now, he's the one that got headbutted on the chin. Did it hurt him that bad? Only he can tell you that. But from what it looked like to me, it looked like it warranted him, rolling around on the mat for 2 minutes. But I'm glad that he got up and he started to fight back. When he did get fouled, he started to just swing back. You know what I mean? So I like that about Schwarz. Gashi, like I said, looked like he was just getting really frustrated. He tried to come out with plan A, which is come forward and, throw overhand left and right. It wasn't working. He was getting clenched on the inside, and I thought he could have went to the body a few times. He just, he got held. Now, he was being held, but he could have tried to work, let his hands go. But again, Schwarz was putting his whole body on top of Gashi as he was trying to crouch down and get on the inside. But yeah, man, later on in the fight, it looked like Schwarz started to was able to pot shot him effectively. And just outfight him. He just had the quicker hands, man. Just had the quicker hands. Then I noticed Gashi was like talking. He was talking to Schwarz corner during the fight, and at one point he literally just tried to turn, like, look over and start talking to him, and Schwarz popped him in the mouth with a jab. So this is just a crazy fight, man. I'm pretty sure there's some other stuff I'm leaving out, man. It was just a crazy fight. You look at Tom Schwarz here, though, man. You look at the rankings, WBO. He does hold that WBO, I believe it's the Intercontinental title. It's just a little minor strap, but he's 23 years old. I like to see him and Ajay Cabello fight. He is now 21-0, I believe. And Gashi falls to 16-1. We look at the WBO rankings right here. Tom Schwarz is rated number 5 by the WBO. And he is rated number 14 by the IBF. So you look at this WBO, man. He is like a fight away, a fight or two away from a possible title shot if he wins a final eliminator or something like that. So right now, Povetkin, from what I'm hearing, is the WBO mandatory. You got, so he's rated number 1. Dominic Brazil is rated number 2. 3, Jarrell Miller. 4, Dillian White. 5, Tom Schwarz. 6, Kaitoro Fujimoto. 7, Brian Jennings. 8, Zhili Zhang. 9, Ajay Cabello. 10, Christian Hammer. I would like to see Schwarz fight any of those guys in that top 10. On the IBF side of things, pretty much some of the same guys. Alexander Dimitrenko's thrown in there. Charles Martin. Otto Wallen. That's another fight that I wouldn't mind. Wallen just picked up a victory over Adrian Granat. So Otto Wallen is still undefeated. Brazil's number 6. Carlos Takam, number 7. Dillian White, 4. Jarrell Miller, number 3. Kirat Pulev, number 2. So even the guy that's rated number 15 by the IBF, Adam Konowski, I like to see that fight with Tom Schwarz. But we will see what Schwarz will do. The fight that I really want, if you were to ask me, would be the Cabello versus Schwarz fight. But this right here, this fight with Gashi, man, crazy ending to this fight, man. Crazy ending. But that's boxing, type of shit that happened in boxing, man. But to me, if Gashi really wanted to fight, why didn't you just do that during the contest? You had your opportunity. I know you were being held, but you didn't have to headbutt either, you know what I mean, and foul your way out of the fight. But there were a few times, even, after he landed that first headbutt in the second round, like going into that third round, there were a few times it looked like the ref was just warning him for stuff that I didn't even see. Like he would throw a punch and then the ref would lean in and say something to him, so I didn't get some of that stuff, but he kind of set the vibe though, man, when he headbutted Schwarz in the second round. So maybe that made the ref jumpy, but there was a few times I didn't think he needed to be talked to or warned about anything that was going on. But Schwarz improves to 21-0. You guys should check this fight out, man, if you haven't already. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm gone.